Whatever happened to we ain't thugs for the sake of being thugs? Nobody do that where we grew at, duh. Gone are those days that Jay-Z once rapped about. In today's social media driven world, we are literally putting everything on our social media posts, including criminal conduct and straight thuggery. And listen, I get it. I hear it all the time. I can post what I want. It's my First Amendment right. Free speech, Katie. And listen, I respect all of that. As an attorney, I fully respect your First Amendment rights. But it becomes a problem when your posts find themselves at the center of a criminal investigation. So let's talk about how this happens. First, your social media is typically pretty findable if it's in your actual name. And sometimes we get clever and come up with nicknames, but your nicknames may also be known to the police. And so usually with just a simple search of your name or nickname, law enforcement can find your social media account. The second way is because you're actually on your social media, meaning your face. And so all the witness has to do is send them in that direction, or sometimes they're clever enough to find it on their own. And the third way, which is the one that I think we most take for granted, is law enforcement's ability to get your social media records based on your subscriber information. When we subscribe to social media accounts, we use either an email address or a phone number, or sometimes both. And so if law enforcement believes that you have a social media account with a particular social media company, if they have probable cause to get a warrant, they can get a warrant subpoenaing your records from that particular company. In that case, they have not only the post that you've put out for the public, but they also have all the contents of your direct messages and any pictures or information you may have sent in your direct messages. So now, let's talk about a couple of examples of posts that are problematic. So the first example that we'll talk about, we'll call this the money flash post. And this is a post that we see often and people think it's no big deal. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The post where you got your money all in the post, you got a picture with your money out, and you got a hashtag like hashtag bankrolls, hashtag paid. And what's the big deal, right? It's your money. You earned it. You should be able to show off your money if you want. Well, if you are a hardworking, law-abiding, tax-paying citizen, it's not a big deal. That's your prerogative. However, let's say you haven't received a W-2 from the government since, I don't know, ever. And you have thousands of dollars laid across the table at the trap house. And let's say a week later, a warrant is served on said trap house and all of your money is confiscated and you are charged with drug dealing. A few months down the road at your trial, that hashtag bankrolls becomes state's exhibit A at trial. Now, how are they allowed to use this? Well, first, they can call witnesses that can testify that you've never received a W-2 in your life. However, you have money in the sum of thousands of dollars for which there is no support showing legitimate income. Hashtag problem. This next example, we'll call this the puff of smoke post. And you would think that this would be common sense, but don't use drugs on social media. For starters, just don't do drugs. Don't do drugs, kids, and you'll never have this problem. But if you do, definitely don't do it on social media. So let's talk about where this could be a problem for you. Let's say that you are on probation, parole, or even pre-trial release waiting on your case to go to trial. Despite drugs just generally being illegal, if you find yourself in any of these situations, it is a violation for you to use drugs. So let's say your officer calls you up and tells you that you have a positive test. You've tested positive for some substance, or either your test may be diluted, meaning there's a problem with your test where they're not getting a good sample. In either case, they have now violated you. Your very zealous and eager officer has gone out to your social media, and hashtag Puffy Smoke post becomes State's Exhibit B at your hearing, because your officer has not only found a post of you actually doing drugs on social media, but it also comes with a date and time stamp showing that you were doing said drugs while you were under their supervision. Hashtag busted. Hashtag you're going to jail. The final example is the most common that I see, and honestly, the absolute most frustrating, because it makes zero sense to me why anyone would think this is a good idea. And this is the post where you decide to display a gun. And we'll call this the Aina killer, but don't push me post. You know the post, you got your guns pointing in the air, you got your guns in your pants, you got your long guns, you just got your guns. Hashtag Aina killer, but don't push me. So let's talk about all the reasons why this is not a good idea. First, let's say you find yourself at the center of any investigation involving a gun. And even if the police do not have the actual gun that was alleged to have been used in the crime, if they have a photograph or a video or a post or a snap of you using, brandishing, just taking a picture with a gun that was similar to the one used in the crime, that may become State's Exhibit C at trial. In addition to the actual photograph being paraded in front of the jury also gets to know about that hashtag that was included with the actual post. And so now the jury in fact knows, because of hashtag Aina killer but don't push me, that you may in fact be a killer if pushed. Imagine the effect that seeing something like that will have on a jury. Hashtag you're going down. So what's our weekly wisdom here? First, your social media accounts are easily findable by law enforcement. Second, your social media posts, snaps, direct messages, photos can be used against you in a criminal prosecution. And third, if this happened, it could completely kill any defense that you may have otherwise had. That's it for this video. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see future videos on any particular topic, please let me know what you're interested in hearing about in the comments below. And finally, if you want more weekly wisdom from Katie the Closer TV next week, please subscribe for future video notifications.